Hey, first of all, sorry about the wind. It's a little breezy right now. It is Sunday. It's Sunday. Welcome back to the channel. It's adventure time. First things first. God bless the old USA. Flag's holding strong. It's breezy though. One of them days where it was beautiful. Went to church, still beautiful. Now it's kind of clouding over. Not too bad though. We'll see some more sun before it's over, but little trailer attached. I'm not even gonna ask you to guess, but it's something old. Let's see, vintage 1960. And it intrigued me, so we're gonna go try to buy it. Of course, 1960, it doesn't run. Who knows when the last time it ran was. I will give you one hint. It's not a car or a truck or boat or anything that we can drive. I'm not sure why I want to buy it, but I do. So yeah, 45-minute drive. First things first, I need a big Dr. Pepper and hit the ATM, and then we'll get after it. So let's go for a little ride and see what we can come up with. Any guesses yet? Well, you're not going to believe this one. We just picked up, sourced a 1960 U.S. military gasoline-powered 6 kilowatt portable generator. Why did you buy a 1960 U.S. Army gasoline-powered 60 kilowatt generator? You may be asking yourself to be asking me. Not sure. It's really cheap, and there's some cool pieces of this, and so I'm intrigued. And you know what? It's content. You all get to watch Jalen and I struggle as we try to figure out something we've never dealt with before. Yeah, it's got a gasoline 4-cylinder engine, but outside of that, Magneto ignition, I know this much about Magneto ignitions, so that should be fun. It does, one thing we knew about this prior to purchasing and verified at the time of exchange, it does turn over with a key. Now, normally I wouldn't jump right into turning it over with the key, but the previous owner had done so. So when we got there, we threw a battery in it and made sure it turns over with a key. And we'll get to, there's a bit of a concerning noise. And I still bought it. But there's a bit of a concerning noise that happens with the key. But let's kind of give it a little walk around here. Close this guy. It's the front. It's got all these little cool antique badges on it. There's been some modifications done. I don't know what those numbers are. We'll have to see if the Google machine will tell us. It looks like maybe we had a rebuild in January of 1963 and a dyno test that may be 166 hours. Don't know. On this side, you have the original plate. Gives it the U.S. Army serial number. Look at this. Look at that. That's cool. Little bald eagle 3-star U.S. Army stamp there. Shows the dimensions. We've got oil spec. We've got a split voltage, 12240 amps, 305226 kilowatts. This is saying 5 now. And then it can put out 1 or 3 phase. And then look at this, guys. You're spinning this little 4-cylinder pretty good. 3,600 RPM operating RPMs. So what else we got? There's another tag somewhere on here. Got the cool little painted part number for the Army, 3375.55. I don't know what the 52 is. There's another little tab. Maybe not. Over here. Over here. Then we have another tab. Kind of verifies what we already know. Generator set. Gasoline engine. 5 kilowatts, 60 cycles. Stock number, so it's going to have the U.S. military serial number here. The make is HOL-GAR Manufacturing Corp. We'll have to look that up on the Googles. We got a model, we got a serial number, the date of manufacture, May of 1960, guys and gals. It even tells you, hey, this is what contract number this was purchased under or is assigned to. The engine make is Continental Motors. The engine model and then the serial number of the engine is also on there. It's already an AC generator, which is beneficial if it works. The generator portion, so this is the engine tag. This is the generator tag. The generator brand is Master Electric Company. Has a model, has a serial number, number of wires 234, amps, volts 120 to 40, kilowatts 5, 60 cycles, 3,600 RPM again. So 1-to-1 drive, we're spinning this puppy at 3,600 RPM. Kind of neat. It's on what this would have been a military kind of skid. So they would have either drugged this around, or it does have some holes in the skid. So I imagine at one point it was mounted on a more military type trailer. Right now this is a little sketchy, but it works. We did not tow this home. We put it on a trailer, as you saw, because these tires are, they're nylon corded, and you know, this is still, I mean, Gorilla Tape or something. It'll buff, and this is fine. So, hey, let's pop open some panels. Oops, I didn't want to pop open. Radiator, already looked, it's dry. We'll look again. Dry as a bone. So we'll see what happens there. Fuel tank, scared to look in there. That's your pickup point. So if you want to crane this around, that's where you're going to lift up the whole dang thing. It's going to balance. That's pretty neat. Don't know what these are for. They hold something. Oh, I know what they hold. Hang on. So let's go here. Oops, this is supposed to have a little tab. Louvers, these are cool. These are kind of controlled louvers, I think. Yeah. There's on the end of the radiator, there's a little thermostatic something or other here, and that's hooked to linkage on these cool little louvers, and they can actually open and shut as needed to provide airflow to radiator. We have, yeah, lots of insect larvae. Looks like maybe we might have had a little coolant leaking on them. Oh yeah, looky there. There's some coolant in it. It's leaking off of the hose clamp. We'll take a closer look at that. Okay. Now this whole side opens up, so I'm gonna set you guys down. No, I'll come back and get you, I promise. I kind of geek out on this stuff. I apologize in advance. Piano hinges are a little... We're getting there. And this guy... Here. Oh, here. So here we go. These little fingers, when you fold the panels up and over, there's little slots for these little guys to kick in here. That one's been fixed on. So they don't fall down on your head. Thank you, Army, for doing that. Okay, obviously generator, 4-cylinder, the tag for the engine, if we can see it right here. This is Continental Motor Company. Yeah, light. Yeah, Continental Motor Company, spec 6003, engine, probably RPM 3878. And then on this end, I can't quite, looks like a model number or something. But yeah, Continental Motor Corp, USA. So that's corresponds with the tag on the other side. Little 4-cylinder guy. Don't know what this box does. I know that's an oil filter. That I can figure out. Oil fill tube. This is about impossible to get to. The dipstick. Pull this out and see what we got going on here. It's impossible. Ooh, look how clean that's oil. And it's super clean oil. So hey, you know, one thing the military does is take care of their stuff. I gotta put you down again, because I don't know how to get this back to where it came from without really messing it up. There, oh, nope, missed. There we go. There. Okay. Fill cap. All right. At one point, it looks like somebody previously, whether it's the military or somebody else, this is a propane, part of a propane injection system. It doesn't appear as though that was being used anymore, but it looks like all the pieces are still there. So we'll see about that. Let's look at this guy now. Look at that. Now that's a generator. Let's see what it says here. Master alternating current master alternating current generator. HR 77190, RPM 3600, and then it goes through the different phases and the different amps that it can supply. So this is the electrical part. This is the gas tank. You know, it looks like maybe I don't remember, but it's almost like I worked on this just from the way it looks. A little hole down there. Let's go on the back. So on the back, this looks like maybe an add-on. Little 220 volt outlet on the outside here, nice and mounted, sturdy. Here's where some of the cool parts that, so this is where I start to geek out a little bit. Look at this. All old army green, old gauges. That'll show you cycles, show you amps. The hour meter, it looks like it's only got, no way guys, I thought it was 1669. The red is a tenth. It's only got 166 hours on it. Let's go, unless it's rolled over, but I don't think the Army would let that happen. So it was, oh my gosh, look. Okay, so rebuilt data, January of 1963, dyno test at 166 hours. Look at this. It's got 166.9 hours showing on it now. This may literally have no hours on it since rebuilt in 1963. I don't know how else you interpret that, but that explains brand new clean oil and the documentation, which the U.S. military is anal about documenting stuff, especially way back when. So what do we got here? Let's keep looking though. Oh, we got a little light bulb, power on. That's good because I don't know. Sometimes I'm not smart enough to look at these, and so this would be a good, I mean, if the light's on, I know don't stick my fingers and screwdrivers in here. Looks like we got a ground tab that's broken off in there, no big deal. Don't know what this is, a little switch. L1, 2, and 3. And it's a little sticky to boot. Voltage adjustment. Ooh. That's gritty. That's interesting. I don't know if these are leads. Probably, yes, they are. I think this is referring to these two terminals, and that you should connect them in certain ways to get the desired phase and voltage. We only have two. And this is talking about L1, 2, 3. I don't understand. Let's see. We got oil pressure gauge for the engine, water temp, ampere gauges, heater, engine heater on and off. Got the key. That's better than we do for a lot of. Oh, okay, I just broke the choke. Here's our throttle lock. And then we can also prime the fuel system. That's cool. Usually we only see those on diesel rigs. And then here's where we really start geeking out, people. The schematic. Are you kidding me? And it's easily readable. If this thing doesn't make electricity, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find an electrical guru friend. This is the other side, that can tell us why and fix it so it does make electricity. We've got diagrams showing coolant. We've got a fuel system diagram, so that'll help us work on that. The only thing I didn't find was a booklet, but it's all here so you don't have to have booklets. I don't know what this does. contactor, main, contact. Nope, that doesn't seem to be the way you do it. We got a big grounding block here. Another big grounding block over here for the bigger voltages. This appears to be stainless. So this was an add-on somewhere along the lines. Pretty well done. But that's cool. And then it's got these little, they're broken, but we'll get some new ones. Little light bulbs that tell you, hey, you want to watch what's going on? We can light it up for you. Pretty cool. All right, let's go over to this side. What do we got on this side? I mean, let's see. What do we got? Yeah, definitely a fuel tank that looks like maybe I welded on it at some point. I don't remember working on this fuel cell, but definitely something I could have had a hand in. There's our big electrical generator. We've got fuel in. We've got a sight glass. So similar to the old TO30, we got a sight glass. Somebody was smart enough, military, to put a filter after the sight glass as well. We've got a Bendix carburetor. Should be able to get kits for that easy enough. And cutest little 4-cylinder guy you ever did see. Here's more of the propane stuff, and that would have once upon a time come up here and got onto here. We've got an open carb. We've got this guy. Okay, see, I might have worked on the electrical side of this too at one point, because we've got alligator clamp, condenser, finger twist, Scotch lock, because those are quality. Coming up here to alligator clamp. Coming down here to some sort of a crimp connector that's taped on one side. And then we're coming up to the coil. Now, that's interesting. We do have some power coming in, another crimp there, and then from back there it looks like maybe was somewhat legitimate, but we've definitely, looks like we've got a spark issue. Speaking of spark issues, this part, I understand. Plug wires, come down here, and then we get to this guy. The Fairbanks Morris brand Magneto. So this is what generates and releases your spark. You've got coil wire that comes off of the coil and goes in down here, and then on this side you've got 4 wires that come out and then go to your spark plugs, and then it will attach into the timing gear set or chain set, probably gears, and then this will be your governor. So Fairbanks Morris, governor, Magneto, blah 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 blah, that I know nothing about. So yeah, that should be excellent. Coolant temp sender here. We got intake, updraft carb life, of course. Why wouldn't we? And then we got exhaust comes up, and at least Jalen's favorite part, little tractor flapper coming out. So that's where we're at. This is going to be interesting. I hope you guys and gals like it. I would like some information on the Magneto system. We might tinker around just a little bit here for a few minutes, and then hit it again tomorrow. I'm gonna go have to, I gotta Google. I need to understand before I electrocute myself. But yes, first question I have for anybody who might be watching is this. Let me put you here. that better? That is better. So, engine turns very nicely, except, here it comes here, hang on. There's a noise. I don't know what that is. No idea. Now, the previous owner thought maybe that was the Magneto hitting. And it could be, I guess. There's no bind in the motor, and it literally feels like, when you do this manually, like something's coming over a cam and dropping down. It does it, let's see, it just did it there, there. It does it every half revolution or so. So maybe that is part of the spark timing. I don't know. I don't know. But it freaks me out because it's loud. Here, let me pull it some more. Right about there. It's so loud. Yeah, I don't understand. This is gonna have to be addressed. It's got green coolant in it, but that hose, oh my gosh. It's nasty, and that clamp's nasty. But the good news is there's bright green drips coming out of there. So that wire is supposed to go there. And that's going to be, well, another coolant temp sensor. I thought the other one was coolant temp. But, yeah. It comes down over here. I bet those wires, that's the coolant temp sensor maybe. Should be interesting. So, I'm going to start Googleizing, tinkering just a little bit. Today, we might do just a little bit of I'll hook a battery up to it and let you hear it crank and hear that little knocky cam sound. It's really loud and it's really bothersome to me. So I'm concerned about that, but otherwise seems pretty complete. Seems like it'd be fun for you to watch this guy struggle. Little update, and again, I knew this, I'm glad I looked again, on the old generator. We're dealing with military stuff here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. 24 volts. So we can deal with this. It's not that big of an issue, but 24 volt system, not 6 or 12. I do have the 2018 battery that came in the tractor in here. It's only 12 volts. We're gonna hook the charger to it and give it a little boost. It should turn over, but I think before we should expect to see any kind of spark, we'll get a couple batteries in series down here, just with jumper cables. It's still a 4-cylinder engine, so, but it is going to take 24 volts of it. So when we get a little more serious tomorrow, we'll get another battery over here and do the whole jumper cable thing and get 2 in series to get to about 24 volts. In the meantime, I'm going to hook up the big charger, give it a little bit of boost, and then I will let you guys hear the noise that it makes. It's somewhere in that front. I think it might have to do with the Magneto. I think the previous owner might be right, but we're gonna have to do a little Google search. Yeah, so I think we're gonna stop there before we get too serious. We gotta get the old gas out of the carburetor, look in the fuel tank, see how bad that is, and a couple other things before you get real serious about seeing if this will actually run. I need to figure out how to at the best of my ability, turn this off. We'll have to get it running and then see about, you know, running through some checks and balances and have the fire extinguisher closer when we attempt to make electricity out of this. Hey, if you know something about these, if you have one laying around, I would imagine they're around and about on some of the farms, and if you've worked on one, the Magneto thing, if you got information about that, hit us up in the comments. We'd be more than interested to hear what you got to say about these little generators and the Magneto systems and all that good stuff. But for now, we're going to end it there. This is going to be a fun little project. Again, we don't have a use for it. What I was really hoping for is that maybe that would be an Iron Duke 4-cylinder. And then we're going to see about the possibility of putting that in the Willys Jeep. Yeah, let's just make content with it and learn together or not learn together. You can just laugh at me. That's fine. Thanks for watching. We're going to get this put away. I got to go hit the Google and figure out how the heck this thing is supposed to work. We'll catch you on the next one.